Welcome to the Zero Excuses Podcast Wheel Book Wednesday edition. My name is Kenny Ziska. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. I'm really excited to be starting this new tradition of the Wheel Book Wednesday, like I mentioned. Before I get into the discussion, I want to remind you guys up front here real quick of a couple things we have going on. Number one, invite you guys to join our Facebook group where there's over 210 people having some amazing conversations about ways they are crushing their excuses and seeking help on what they could do to move their lives forward. We're discussing what roadblocks we're running into. We're discussing what excuses keep popping up into our heads and getting through those barriers in our lives. So head on over to Facebook. Facebook.com/groups/zero excuses, and that's excuses spelled without the E, XCUSES. Second of all, want to remind you guys to subscribe and rate this podcast over on iTunes. Helps us get the word out about Zero Excuses and spreads the word. So, with this first episode, what I simply wanted to do was introduce this new show we're coming out with. Like I said, it's going to be just random thoughts, tips, tricks, tactics, some of the strategies that I personally use in my life to eliminate excuses. Just because I run a podcast and Facebook group called Zero Excuses, that doesn't automatically make me immune to excuses. I battle with these things day in, day out, just like you guys. I don't have this whole game of life figured out. I do have experience in the military, do have experience as an engineer, as a husband, as a father, and as now a podcaster. So I just want to bring my experience to the table to you guys, lay it all out, and just provide something valuable, something quick, something simple you guys can take and implement right now. So you're probably also asking yourself right now, what the F is a wheel book? Like I just mentioned, I'm a member of the U.S. Navy Reserve. Did 10 years active duty, and as of this recording, I'm 10 days away from hitting my 20-year mark. So a wheel book is something that we as sailors carry around. If you're a good sailor, you'll carry one of these around. So not everyone does. But a wheel book, it's basically just a green memo book. I'll put a picture up of what I carry around for you guys to see. But the term wheel book is a traditional term from the Navy days, or the sailing days, that it's a logbook that was kept near the helm, and at the helm there's a wheel, and it was basically a logbook that every helmsman would use to track the activity at the helm, any sort of course changes, whatever it may be. So then that term was passed down to the smaller notebooks that the sailors, chiefs, officers all use to keep thoughts and tasks and whatnot. It's a tradition that I carry forward into my civilian life, and what I'm going to do is as I go through my day, go through my week, as I think of something I want to share with you guys, I write it down in my wheel book, and I'm going to pull this out I'm going to record before Wednesday, but every Wednesday I'm going to bring you a thought or a tip, a trick, a tactic, right out of my wheel book. And this is real life. This is stuff that I use. I'm not trying to BS anyone here. This is real stuff that I use every day. So the other thing that I want to talk to you guys about, going along in the tradition of the wheel book, is I want to talk to you guys about the importance of writing everything down. This is something I struggle with on a daily basis, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but it's a product of pure laziness on my part, and I've gotten better about it, the past few years, and man, I don't know why I didn't, why it was so hard or so difficult for me to really get this going on in my life, but it's made a huge difference. I know it sounds something simple and trivial, but I tell you, it's the simple things that are going to trip you up in life. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication in my mind. I know that sounds cliche, but it really rings true in my life. And whether it's simply writing down a task that you need to do, I really hate the excuse, I forgot. That excuse drives me up the wall. But a few years ago, in the same breath, I would forget to write things down. I would forget to do something that my sailor asked me to do for him, and it's affected their career in the past, and I've dropped the ball. So the lesson I want you guys to take from this is to simply write things down. I plan my day every single day. I write down exactly what I want to do. I do it the night before. I plan out my weeks. I plan out my quarters. I think you guys get the idea here, and I want you guys, as we start wrapping this small episode up here, I want you guys to think about the small things in life that you are kind of just letting slip by the wayside, and think about the impact that those small things might be having on your ability to move forward or get what you want out of life. If you guys need information on how to obtain one of these Navy wheel books, like I said, I'll put a picture up along with this episode. These green wheel books that we carry around, they're real handy. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them on eBay, and all you got to do is have the Federal Supply National Stock Number, and you can have your very own wheel book. So again, guys, I appreciate your time. Hopefully you found some value in this, and comment in the join the Facebook group. Comment on what you guys, if you guys got some value out of this. I'd be interested to hear, how, if this is something you implement and it makes a difference in your life. I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts on this tactic that I'm sharing with you right now. All right. Well, as we wrap up here, I encourage you to check out our interview show that I release every Monday or Tuesday. Where I've completed 10 interviews up to this point. Released 6 as of this recording, and I'm getting more comfortable behind the microphone, and this show is already exceeding my expectations. We've had over 500 downloads, and I appreciate you guys' support, and man, I'm just getting started. So until next week, guys, have a kick-ass week. Talk to you later.